That is a beautiful transition. I shall henceforth make it my life mission to find that stretch of road. Good evening, folks. Hope you all had a good work week. Welcome to the Game Reserve. My name is Jagger Newman. I'm the Warren in these parts, and tonight we're headed back to the world of futuristic racing with F-Zero X. This game was released in 1998, I want to say, and is the sequel to the SNES classic F-Zero. So the original F-Zero was a huge hit when it came out on the Super Nintendo. It sold gangbusters at retail, primarily because it was one of the big launch titles for the game, but it was also a really good demonstration of what the Super Nintendo could do with its Mode 7 graphics and what have you. The game would go on to become, I think, the third or second best-selling Super Nintendo game, and is still regarded as a classic today. Nintendo actually had plans to follow up F-Zero on the Super Nintendo, but they quickly found out that for what they had in mind for the sequel, it just wasn't going to be feasible. Specifically, what they wanted to do was they wanted to make a multiplayer F-Zero, but they found that having the game split screen, they would have to dial back the size of the tracks and slow the gameplay down. So you basically couldn't have a multiplayer SNES F-Zero game. Weirdly enough, that's also what led to the creation of Mario Kart. They realized that they had to make a game like that. So they just said, how about we make a go-kart racer? And someone said, oh, that's not a bad idea. How about we put Mario in the karts? That is a great idea. So that did cover the quota for a multiplayer racing game on the Super Nintendo. But it still left F-Zero fans a little high and dry. Fast forward a couple of years, and now the Nintendo 64 is out, and Nintendo is just hitting it out of the park, adapting all their franchises into 3D with stuff like Super Mario 64 and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Someone had the bright idea to do another F-Zero game, and the game would come to be known as F-Zero X. Well, I don't think F-Zero X was a huge seller when it came out. It was still a critical success, and it was a very popular game on the console regardless. Even to this day, it's still considered one of the best games on the Nintendo 64, as well as just probably the best racing game on the entire console. I'm also really excited to talk about it. I love playing F-Zero, so let's just go ahead and get this started. As to how I'm going to be playing this game, as usual, I'm going to be playing it via Nintendo Switch Online, specifically my Nintendo Switch 2. As always, best way to play games like this. So if you got a Nintendo Switch, yep, you can play it if you want to. Oh, that is awesome! So, right off the bat, it just hit with one of my favorite boot-up screens ever. Just that flying guitar riff, and then straight into the title card, then the demo music, demo play start. It's just so good, dude. As for the title screen itself, this is actually the title screen that you get when you complete all the cups on Expert. And I definitely prefer this to the standard one you get. The standard one feels a little cluttered to me. This one feels a little more organized, though the background does take away from the title. I do gotta say, though, I do like the title of F-Zero X, mostly because it would have been very easy for them to call this, F-Zero 64. Let's go ahead and play this. Okay, so got the usual stuff you expect from racing games, so GP, Atomic Attack, and Versus Mode, which is basically single race, and practice as well. But you also had Death Race, which is basically where you try to take out the competition by knocking them off the track or making them explode. I actually do really love this menu screen. Just the music you get, the subtle rock beats, as well as the track models holding up the different options. It definitely gives you the vibe of like the pits at a racetrack. It sounds like something you would hear pit crews listening to as they're putting the finishing touches on the race cars. But we're mostly going to play in GP, and I'm going to go through all the different difficulties as well, just to give you an idea of that stuff. So you have 4 cups that you can participate in, which are all themed to playing card suits. But you also have F-Zero X, which you unlock after you complete everything on, what is it? Master or Expert. And what's cool about the F-Zero X Cup is that all the tracks are procedurally generated, so you get something different every single time, rather than the other cups, which are all static. Let's go ahead and get started. And talk about a jump in content compared to the first F-Zero game. The original F-Zero only had 4 racers, so Captain Falcon, Dr. Stewart, Pico, and Samurai Guru. But this game beefs up that big time because now we have 30 racers that we can play as, all of whom have their different personalities, characteristics, and reasons for entering the Grand Prix in the first place. It is just an absurd amount of content for a game this old. And I still think F-Zero X holds the record for the most characters introduced in a single game, with a grand total of 27. And yes, 27, not 26. I will explain why that is correct later. But to start things off, I'm going to go with my boy Captain Falcon. Something else that you can do in this game is that you have the option to adjust the characteristics of your machine. So you can put it at acceleration and you'll pick up speed really fast, or you can put it at max speed where you'll go faster but at the cost of your acceleration being low. I typically like to put mine right about here, somewhere between middle of the road and max speed. Alright, so the first thing we always talk about are the controls, and yeah, the controls are pretty spot on here. So it's pretty easy to make the subtle adjustments you need to. It feels like you have just enough grip on the ground, but it's also easy to lose traction if you're not careful. If you hold the shoulder buttons, you can tilt your car from side to side, which allows you to turn a little bit sharper. And now we're going to hit the second lap. So what that means is I can now boost. Now the boosting in F-Zero X is different compared to the first game. In the first F-Zero, whenever you complete a lap, you got 1 boost, which you could use only once, and you were limited to 3 boosts. In F-Zero X, they changed it so you can boost infinitely, but at the cost of your meter going down, which is what's above my camera feed right there. This is actually a brilliant choice because it not only allows you to achieve even greater speeds than before, but it also creates a great risk and reward system. So yeah, you can go faster if you mash that boost button, but you run the risk of draining your health bar and being taken out of the race with just 1 hit. Like, whoever came up with that is an absolute genius. One of the best design choices that were made with F-Zero X for sure. And this is something else that they definitely changed from the first game too. In the previous game, in order to continue on at the Grand Prix, you had to, be in a certain position at the end of the race. But here that's been taken out completely, so now your position will give you a certain amount of points. So, like, if you place low in a race, it doesn't really hurt you that much. You just lose points. You might not be able to come in first for the Grand Prix, but you'll at least be able to continue with the Grand Prix. That's a good feature. Alright, so let's get into the presentation. So looking at this game, I think it might be tempting to call the graphics in F-Zero X weak. And that is fair. The backgrounds and theming are pretty thin, all things considered. The F-Zero machines themselves aren't terribly well rendered. And the tracks themselves just seem very basic. But there's actually a lot going on the hood that the untrained eye might not be able to see. The main thing being that the game is running at a smooth and consistent 60 FPS. This was just unheard of for the time F-Zero X came out. Most N64 games ran at like 30 frames per second, and it was considered amazing if the game would run without any bit of slowdown. And F-Zero X, the game runs at twice that, and never once does the frame rate falter. I mean, it's beautifully optimized, and that's primarily because the graphics are so simple. The team behind this had a very clear vision of what they wanted to be able to do in F-Zero X, and they were smart enough to sacrifice graphical fidelity to achieve that. They wanted to go absurdly fast. They wanted to have all 30 racers on the track at once, and they wanted it to run as smoothly as possible on these great big elaborate 3D tracks. So yeah, while the graphics definitely did take a hit because of that, it was for the best that that happened, because it makes F-Zero X just so much fun to play. It's just a perfect example of sacrificing graphical fidelity for gameplay. Now, while the graphics are a little weak, that's not to say that there isn't some cool stuff being done with the design, namely in regards to the level design. So, Mute City was a really good first track. Very simple design, very wide track, allows you to get a grip for the controls and the boost mechanic, but it also incorporates the loop, which is the first example of roller coaster design in the series. Then you get the silence, which, despite looking like an oval, like something you would see in NASCAR, is all about the speed, trying to just go as fast as possible. And then this track, Sand Ocean, introduces the half pipe, which has its own challenges. While there's no danger of falling off the track, trying to find the right spot in this thing to where you can maximize your speed, as well as just being in the right spots when the tube opens up onto the basic track, creates a lot of challenges. So yeah, this is another really good track. And like with any racing game worth its salt, it is so much fun to cross the finish line in this game. Like, just get that, and then the finish is spinning, then the music starts. Like, it feels good, especially when you come in first place. Devil's Forest Corkscrew. I also really love the comic book portraits of all the characters you get at this screen. It's a good way to have them appear in the game without having to render 3D graphics. 2D graphics were just less taxing, and the style is just absolutely gorgeous. Like, the characters look great in this game. And the music is just perfect for the experience. Like, that flying heavy metal techno vibe that's got going, like, it just fits the experience like a glove, especially when you're racing down the track at high speeds with only a sliver of health left. It's just unlike anything else. It's one of the best soundtracks Nintendo has ever done. The roller coaster level design is just a lot of fun too. Like just having that corkscrew in there just provides just that extra touch of character that the track needs to be interesting without having to resort to like complex backgrounds and everything. There actually was another futuristic racing game on the N64 that tried to have higher graphical fidelity while still doing everything F-Zero was doing, and that was Wipeout 64. While not a bad game per se, it ran much slower and had all the issues that the Wipeout games had at the time, so yeah. F-Zero X. Looks like we got ourselves a first comment. Looks like Biddy. Yeah, the game is pretty damn rad, isn't it? You think this game is rad. Check out F-Zero GX, which is basically this game on more intense hardware. It's awesome. And thank you. I do like my hat too. Ah, Big Blue. This is the one that always made me nervous as a kid, and you guys will probably see why very quickly. Yep, so whereas before we were racing in a full pipe, now we're racing on the outside on what we would call a cylinder. And this is the one type of track you need to be careful on because it's very easy to fly off this thing if you hit it at just the right angle and you're going too fast. So you really gotta be careful, be mindful of where your position on the tube is. Make sure that when you hit a curve, you're on the inside of it rather than the outside. Hopefully I don't fly off and embarrass myself. Oh. You see me sliding a bit there. That's something else you want to try to avoid doing in this game. If you turn too sharply or hit a turn at an odd angle if there's an elevation, you'll start to slide to the side there. You'll not only lose speed, but you'll lose a good deal of control too. So you really want to be gentle with that joystick. You need to finesse your way through curves and everything, especially if you want to get through them while holding a lot of speed. Now, I might look like I'm dominating here, but I am playing on the lowest setting right now. On the higher settings, F-Zero X does get incredibly challenging, as you guys are likely to see. So, be sure to stay tuned, because I am going to up it once we're finished with this cup. I really hope that my battery doesn't die on me before I'm finished here. Oh man, I love that drum line. If I didn't need to keep my eyes on the road, I would definitely start headbanging right now. Oh god, this is fun. Ah, almost made it. Easy does it now. Oh man, I thought I was gonna fall off the track there. You basically have lives in this game if you your energy meter drops to 0 or you fly off the track, you'll have the option to retry, but you only have a certain amount of continues to do that. So on the lowest difficulties, you have 5 machines, which serve as your lives, whereas on Master, you only have 2. Come on, I can't let these guys beat me on this level. Wait, what? What the heck was up with that? Oh yeah, Blue Falcon is definitely my favorite. That's what I cleared most of these tracks with. Why does that keep happening? And now I gotta sit through this, which is one of the issues. I wish there was a way to skip through this. Sorry about that, folks. Just sending a message to someone. Okay, so I dominated Novice, so let's beat things up to Standard and see what happens. Now, I do want to show off some other Reasers, though, so let's take a look at some of my favorites. I think my personal favorite of the new cast is definitely Silver Nelson. His deal is that he holds the record for most F-Zero Grand Prix entered by a single individual. But despite that fact, he's never actually won an F-Zero GP, so he's like a journeyman boxer. It's just really charming. Anyway, let's see if I can win with this guy. Oi. Come on. Yeah, when everyone starts bunching up like that, that's where the racing gets really tricky. Because if you so much as tap someone, that's a good way to lose traction. Very much a problem. A big part of the game is also memorizing the tracks, trying to figure out where the best places to boost are in order to maximize your speed, your time. Like, the boost system, what they chose to do with it was just a really good idea. I hope whoever came up with that got a big raise because, you know, it's become a trademark of the F-Zero series. Alright, in the lead. Having a hard time holding it, though. Hit that booster plate. Easy on the curve. Awesome. Alright. I think I've got that issue with it booting me out resolved, so let's do this. Red Canyon. So this would probably be a good time to talk about some lore with F-Zero X. So they actually explain in-game why the tracks are so elaborate here versus the flat level design of the first game. Evidently, the first F-Zero game took place during a period of time when legit F-Zero races were suspended. So all you have are the standard F-Zero races, or underground races. In F-Zero X, they reopened the F-Zero X Grand Prix, which includes all this crazy level design, in order to, after putting some new safety features in place. They were shut down because of an event they refer to as the Grand Finale, which was just this huge wreck that nearly killed a good chunk of the F-Zero competitors. It adds a dark layer to the F-Zero races, but it does add a good deal of lore to it as well. Like, a good chunk of the racers in this game, a lot of their backstory seems to center around the Grand Finale. It does lead to some weird continuity stuff, though. Like, I remember doing a series on my blog, F101, talking about F-Zero lore and stuff like that. And I would report one thing because I read it on a Wikipedia, only for people to tell me that it's not true, it's not canon, it's misinformation. Then I would go back to the F-Zero wiki and find that the information had changed. It seems like there's a lot of confusion as to what's canon in F-Zero, and that's probably because Nintendo doesn't pay the series a whole lot of attention. It's really sad. There's that bass drum again. Ugh. So yeah, you can see right there, if the elevation and angle of the track is right, and you're going too fast, you'll actually lift off of the track. So there's some places where you actually want to slow it down a little bit, or where they put something like that intentionally to try and get you to fly off. Stay on target! Stay on target! Now you might be wondering what the rival mark over there is. Basically that's the person who is either ahead of you or behind you in the standings. And the reason they do that is so you can try to take them out. If you double tap the tilt button, you'll do a side swipe attack, and if you perform a combination of buttons, you'll do a spin attack, which you can use to take out other racers. If you take out a certain amount of racers, I think you get crap. And that is why you pay attention to where your energy is. I got a little sidetracked there. Yeah, like you see how I attacked him right there? If you hit it just right, you can actually take him out in one shot. And if you take out enough racers, I think you get an extra man. It's a little tricky to do. Attacking is a little unresponsive, and it's real easy to send yourself into a wall if you're not careful. So I typically try to focus on racing rather than attacking. Oh, crap. This isn't looking good for me. You wonder why I'm struggling with this so much if I've cleared all these cups before. It's primarily because I was using the Blue Falcon, which is what I'm used to. I don't really experiment with other racers that much, so that's probably why I'm having a harder time with it. Ugh. Ugh. Missed it. Come on now. Easy. Center track. Ah, missed it again. Ugh. There we go. Headed back to Mute City. Oh, there's a night track too. They do find some ways to get some atmosphere with the levels in here. Though it's got nothing on what they would eventually do with F-Zero GX, which was just amazing on a graphical front. That's primarily why I decided to cover this game, because F-Zero GX is currently available for Nintendo Switch Online, which now, it's something I'm really excited about because that's one of the most underrated games that Nintendo has ever put out, so it's nice that it's finally in a readily available state. And who knows, maybe it'll be so popular Nintendo will finally pull the trigger on giving us another F-Zero game. Please. Ugh. Oh, that was probably a mistake. Nope. Probably did that just right. Ugh. Out of my way, Clash. So far, so good. Oh, that's getting tight. Oh. Come on. Out of my way. Easy. I really wish it would stop telling me the battery is low. But it's also making me wish that I had grabbed my Pro Control. I hope I don't have to run downstairs to get that real quick. It says gotta hold out for another 25 minutes. Hey, there you are, Lois. Good to see ya. And thank you very much, Mr. Biddy. I appreciate that. I do my best. One thing I always want when I see people in the comments, guys, is for them to ask questions about the game so I have more speaking points to go to. So if you guys got anything for me? It gets so crowded on these tracks. And it's especially nerve-wracking when there's no guardrails either. It's a nightmare. Enough with the pushing and the shoving. Oh. Oh. Hey. Oh. Oh, crap. Typically try to wait for when the loop starts to go down to increase my speed. At least I think that's how it works. You actually don't have to keep your speed up in order to stay on the track when it's upside down. Thanks for not distracting me, Lois. I appreciate that. But as you can see, when we go into the results screen, I do have times to actually look at the screen and see what I got. Oh yeah, it definitely got put on the back burner because of Mario Kart. Both on the SNES and because of Mario Kart 64 too. It definitely predates it. What would I like to see in a new F-Zero game? Really, at this point, all I would really like to see is just F-Zero done with modern technology and everything. You know, just increase the speeds to ludicrous levels, add even more racers and stuff like that. Nintendo has often said that the reason they haven't done another F-Zero game is that they just don't want to make a game to make it. They want to do something innovative with it, but it's been so long since the last 3D F-Zero game, which was F-Zero GX, was released. So, yeah, so much time has passed, technology has advanced so rapidly, it's just time for a new one. I think Sean of CGR Undertow put it best. Come on, Nintendo, give us a Falcon Punch right in the spleen. And I bet old Silver Nelson is really proud right here. It's the first time he's ever run an F-Zero Grand Prix. Alright, we got about 20 minutes left on the stream. Let's see how I do on Expert. And I'm probably about to get destroyed. So remember how I said there were 27 new characters introduced in this game. Some people would say only 26 because, you know, there's only 26 new vehicles. However, in one of those vehicles, there are 2 characters, Gomer and Shiho. So the story with these 2 is they come from an alien race who have this custom of pairing up with each other when they're born. So they basically do everything together. So these 2 choose to race one machine as one. So yeah, pretty cool, unique. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of their machine, the Twin Nerota or something. Oh crap. Give me a second, guys. I gotta go grab my Pro Controller. God damn it. I am so sorry about that, folks. In the future, I'll keep a spare control handy. What the? Too bad. You lost the machine. There we go. Oh man, the lava's rad. Woohoo! Fuck. Ow. Yeah, the thing I don't like about this one is it's got very poor handling. And it's also a very light machine, so it can't take a whole lot of punishment. Ugh. Gotta angle that. Ugh. Come on now. Oh. Come on. Ah. Oh. Ah. Damn. Am I even going to make it past this last race? Ah. Manners! Ah. Okay, so I think I can pull it off. Oh, come on. Ah! Yeah, as you can see, it gets much, much harder, and your choice of vehicle really does matter. I would not recommend the twin errata, or whatever you call it, because the machine is just far too light, gets thrown around way too quickly, and that eats into how much you can boost a little too easily. Let's see if I can at least make it to the end of this. Someone exploded. Oh, that was close. And look at that, my life is already down to nothing. I wasn't able to get a full charge, so this is going to be a problem. Come on now. Out of my way. Oh! Come on, come on, come on. No! I only get one more try. Got a little too gung-ho there. Come on, stay on target. Come on. Hey! Ugh. Maggots. Okay, this is where it got me last time. There we go. Ah, damn, on the wall. Come on. Ugh. I guess 5th place isn't bad. Not exactly what I want, though. already? And man, I hate machines that don't have much grip. Come on. Nice and easy. Kind of hard to be easy when there are a million racers on the track. Some bombs on the track. You want to watch out for those. Not only will they do damage, but they'll send you skyward too. Oh man, that was close. Oh, that was close. Ah, damn. Yeah, so in order to steer really well, I often push the stick forward so I can make more subtle adjustments. You gotta remember to take your finger off the joystick, otherwise that happens. Pretty good game over screen, though, I must say. Okay, we got 10 minutes left on this stream. Just for shits and giggles, let's jack it up to Master. We're gonna go Joker track. Oh! Lois, look at this. So you were talking about Mario Kart earlier, so this game has its own Rainbow Road. And this is the exact track from Mario Kart 64. Isn't that cool? And the last racer I want to show is James McLeod here. And you know, there's something familiar about this guy. And I think I know why. You guys want to know why? Next time. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so it is the exact same track from Mario Kart 64, which predates this by a couple of years. Just a fun little nod to Nintendo's other big racing franchise. There's actually been a lot of crossover from F-Zero into Mario Kart. Starting with Mario Kart Wii, you had the Blue Falcon appearing as a selectable car, and again in Mario Kart 8. No reference at all in Mario Kart World, though, which is a little disappointing. But I'm sure maybe they'll add like a DLC pack that's themed to F-Zero or something. Actually, don't do that, Nintendo. I want another F-Zero game. Oh! Oh! You bastards. Easy! Yeah, on higher difficulties, these guys don't care who you are. They're just gonna blow past you or through you if they can. Oh no! Ah. Even when the game is kicking your ass, you're having a blast. I gotta at least finish this race. I at least don't want to be in last place. Come on. I'm a Hoosier. I should be able to do this. Racing's in my blood. Come on. Oh, that was close. Took out all my energy, too. Ah, you... Son of a bitch sideswiped me. I ain't going down like this. Watch it.
You got boost power.
Give me a break. Oh no. Oh, that was close. Come on, guys, just let me cross the finish line. Not asking for much. Yes! Yeah, me celebrating for a 9th place win. Yeah, so I would say that's a good place to stop, guys. Okay, so F-Zero X. I love this game so much. It's got a ton of personality with all the different racers. The presentation, while it might appear to be weak graphics, just the simple fact that it runs at 60 FPS is really damn impressive for the time. And it really adds to the sense of speed of the game. The roller coaster like level design, the sick as hell soundtrack, and the fact that it runs so well with the crazy tracks and all 30 racers going at once is just really cool. But the main reason you play F-Zero X is for the gameplay. Like, this is just one of the most intense white knuckle racing games you are ever going to play. I know towards the end I wasn't talking a whole lot there, but like I was just getting into it. Like, I was clutching my controls so hard, like I was probably fixing to break the thing in half. If you have never played F-Zero X, I highly recommend checking it out. It is available for Switch Online, so have at it. And if you're a little discouraged by the fact that not all the content is unlocked initially, there actually is a cheat code to unlock it all. So, like, a lot of people might detest that, but you still have to play the game to get all those X's above the cups and everything. So, yeah, you're not getting bragging rights if all the content is unlocked. But that's going to do it for tonight, guys. If you enjoyed tonight's content, please be sure to like and subscribe. I do these videos every Saturday at 8 o'clock. And what I do is I take a game, play it for about an hour or so, and talk about the design, the history, and all that good stuff, because I'm passionate about games and I enjoy talking about it. I do not play games from start to finish because I feel like you lose something if you're not playing the game yourself. The purpose of the Game Reserve is to encourage all who watch my videos to play the games I showcase rather than just watching me play them. But no disrespect to anyone who chooses to consume video games in that manner. That being said, if there are any games you would like me to cover in this format, please leave it in the comments. I will be sure to take a look at it. But that's going to do it for tonight, guys. I hope you all have a good work week, and I'll see you next time.